Our organization, which is Zero Regional Environment Organization, is working with local institutions, strengthening them to start to understand and appreciate climate change work. We also move beyond the awareness and then say how best can we be capacitated to be able to deal with such a problem. So we feel that is very important for NGOs, local institutions, and also for the communities. The policy that is going to be, formulated has to be evidence-based, and that evidence actually can come from NGOs, because we are working with lots of communities on the ground, both in urban and rural areas, and this information will be very useful to feed into the various pockets of information that are needed by government. Also, we are working closely with the communities, and we are collecting case studies, human interest case studies in terms of how people have been affected by climate change, the indigenous knowledge which they've been using for quite some time to cope with climate change, and to amplify those voices so that they are known. We would also be working with media, and media is very important. We are not able to do that, as an institution or as NGOs alone. We need a conduit. So we'll be working with media to make sure that the information goes where it is supposed to go. And the media also, based on what the information the NGOs are producing, they can question and very interesting questions to our government officials, specifically Ministry of Environment, and they can also feed back the same information to us. So media is very, very key, and they are the ones who also are able to translate that information to repackage it in a more understandable way. The idea is to make sure that we speed up this process, because people are suffering, people are dying, and would avoid many more disasters. On the ground, we are also doing implementation on the ground, and this implementation is basically a community-based adaptation intervention. It's a specifically designed project that is aimed at trying to identify the challenges. We have already identified the challenges with the communities, which we are planning together. Besides identifying the problems, we then prioritize in terms of what needs to be done, and then also come up with solutions together with communities. So it's a purposefully designed project that is aimed at making sure that communities are involved at every stage in terms of planning until we do implementation. So we are doing interventions on water. Water management, because water is also a major challenge. Our agriculture in Zimbabwe is rain-fed. We depend on rainfall, and there is need for us to conserve our water, to conserve our soil. At local level, it's really difficult to measure, to say, are we really doing adaptation? If we really wanted to do that, but adaptation is not an activity; it's a process. So if it is a process, what it means is we can only do that maybe after 5-10 years, go back to the communities and see if they are still practicing. Because the adaptation is also to do with the mindset. People have to change. It's not like business as usual, So, but we can see if communities have taken up the practices that are recommended and that we agree on. And actually at household level, that's the best you can do to see what they are doing in their fields, on their pieces of lands, if they are adopting what we would have agreed on. That's the only way we can try to see if they have. Otherwise, if we discuss and agree something with communities and that is not done, then you can't really say they are really adapting. The best you can do is when you are doing adaptation intervention at national or regional level. All countries have got a poverty reduction strategy. So as long as that adaptation is addressing poverty issues, and the communities are able to say, well, I'm now able to grow this much and sell this much as surplus, then I think you can safely say that you have really achieved in terms of adaptation. But at regional level, in terms of awareness, I think it's just a matter of looking at the institutions, whether they have taken up the climate change adaptation planning within their strategies in the organizations. In the region, we are working with countries like Malawi, Mozambique, and Zambia. Basically assisting them also is capacity building to also do the same, but also to assist them in coming up with networks of NGOs that are interested or who are trying to do climate change adaptation work, to make sure that this spreads, in the region, because our region, SADC, we have almost like one common problem: droughts, and also floods in Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Malawi also, I think, faces the same, and Zambia, Lusaka, cities. Otherwise, we are working with those countries as a grouping and then collecting information. And at the end, I think what we aim to do is to also have a comprehensive document that is capturing the impacts and how people are coping in the region, and the interventions. It's like some kind of inventory.